It's time now for the JT Cobble Show, and it's brought to you by the following sponsors: Sparklight of Duncan, Duncan Builder Supply, Brooks Meat Market, DeHart Air Conditioning, and Wichita Mountain Counseling. And when we return, we'll be talking to the head football coach of the Duncan Demons, JT Cobble, about takeaways from the previous contest, and it's all right here on the JT Cobble Show. We'll be right back.
Each day, this town wakes up to new possibilities, and Sparklight high-speed internet is right there with you. Now get 100 megs for only $45 a month for 6 months. Call 855-808-2737 for fast, reliable internet. Plus, you can add unlimited data. Stream on multiple devices, all at the same time, any time of day. Cable One is now Sparklight. Call 855-808-2737 or visit sparklight.com. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Grilling at the house, tailgating with friends, or for a weeknight dinner, your first stop should be Brooks Meat Market. The freshest beef, pork, chicken, even lamb, all cut to order. Looking for hamburger patties? Locally owned Brooks Meat Market cuts and grinds daily. Jimmy also hand makes market products like smoked sausages and seasoned sirloin jalapeno poppers. Go to Brooks Meat Market for the freshest choice for your next meal in the Elk Plaza next to Ace.
From the corner of 7th and Oak, Duncan Builder Supply grew into the largest construction supply center in the area. Slab to countertop, we do it all with experience and knowledge that's unmatched. From estimating your project to delivery, consultation, and financing, we're there beginning to end. Name brands you trust like Benjamin Moore Paints, Larson Doors, and DeWalt Power Tools. There's no place like DBS. So see us today at Duncan Builder Supply, 116 North 7th, where service makes the difference.
Did you know that on average, one Oklahoman dies from an opioid overdose every day? And in 2017, Stevens County had the 7th highest death rate in the state from unintentional prescription opioid overdoses. During that year, enough opioids were dispensed to Stevens County residents for every adult to have the equivalent of 241 10-milligram hydrocodone tablets. Keep opioid medications locked away to prevent theft, child poisoning, and other harmful exposures. Monitor your medications for missing or outdated pills. Don't keep leftover medications. Dispose of them safely at local medication drop boxes. To find your nearest drop box location, visit the website okimready.org. This message brought to you by the Wichita Mountains Prevention Network Pathways to a Healthier You program and is funded by the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
The extremes in Oklahoma weather can wreak havoc on your home comfort system. That's why it's very important to have routine maintenance. The certified specialists at DeHart Air Conditioning can repair any issue that may affect the performance of your home comfort system. And they'll keep your system in shape to fend off the blazing heat and the freezing cold. Keep your home comfortable with a reliable comfort system from DeHart Air Conditioning. Call today, 580-252-2205.
And we're back with the JT Cobble Show, and I have right now this morning on the phone the head coach of the Duncan Demons, JT Cobble. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Now, sir, I'd like to first and foremost congratulate you on your win against PC West last night. A very high-scoring game, if you will, for the first one of the season. And I tell you, your boys were on fire that first half. What are your thoughts about how that went down?
Yeah, the kids came out and, they started out on fire. I feel like they were really focused about their job and what they were supposed to do and what we were trying to do for that game plan. And really on both sides of the ball, only giving up 14 points in a half and scoring, 59 points in a half is against a 6A football team, is impressive, So I think that's something to be proud of. There's lots of stuff that we have to work on and fix, and as far as assignment busts and new linemen and stuff like that. But all in all, the kids played hard. Defense flew to the ball, and it was a good night.
Well, takeaways that I saw on the field, you had the great quarterback connection between your number 9 quarterback, and that would be Jackson Gregston. Did I pronounce his name correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you had that connection between Ledford and Pettit. There was a lot of weapons on your offense that your quarterback had pretty much at his disposal, but he's a weapon within himself. He could run the ball. He could actually do audibles, which was amazing to see, because that defense was trying to get through a few times there before that halftime half.
Mm-hmm. Jackson is confident in his abilities to trust the offense, and trust his reads, what we have worked on. We spend a lot of time throughout the week on his reads and what we want to run if they do this, and if they do this, and we're going to check to this. And we watch a lot of film, in the mornings. And Jackson has spent a large amount of time in the off season lifting weights and getting bigger. And,
mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big attribute to him being the football player that he is this year. So I completely trust him in his decision making and in his checks. And if he feels like he needs to audible one of my play calls, he has the ability to do that.
And that's good to see on the field. That makes him a field general in the long run. And his favorite on the wide receiver end was Javion Dangerfield. A lot of touchdowns last night from that young man. A lot of runs from that young man as well. So he's a double threat. Not only can he run the ball, he can receive the ball, and that's always good to see as well.
Yeah, we're going to continue to come up with new ways and different ways to get the ball into the hands of Javion Dangerfield and Roderick, for that matter, Roderick Standout. So, I believe Javion had 3 touchdown receptions in the first half, had over 100 yards receiving. He's gonna give defense some problems. I mean, we knew that. He is a college level receiver that I believe will play on Saturday somewhere after this season's over. And you've got him on one side, and then you got Roderick and Cade on the other side. It's not possible to guard them both, so you kind of just have to pick your poison and see what happens.
Well, that's good to hear, Coach. And now talk about the defensive side of the ball. Number 16 was awfully busy last night. Talk about Trey J. I love the name. Talk about that young man for me.
Well, Trey J moved. This is his first year to play football here in Duncan. He moved in to us from Comanche, and he's just a hard-nosed kid. He's the type of kid that won't back down from anybody, from any challenge or from a hit. He's not a real big kid, but you can't tell him that. He plays like he's the 250-pound linebacker. So, that's the attitude that we look for in our kids, and most coaches want to have in their kids, to have them go in there and stick it in there and take it to them, no matter your size or anything like that. So, Trey J's still learning. He's got a lot of stuff to learn as far as the scheme goes on both sides of the ball, but his motor doesn't stop, and so that's something that we'll never have to worry about with him, which is good.
All right, Coach. Well, that's the first side of the conversation that we're going to have this morning, and we're going to take a break and step away and take a listen to some of our sponsors. But when we come back to the JT Cobble Show, we'll talk about takeaways, continuing the takeaways from last night's contest, and we'll talk about next week's contest against the Elgin Owls. We'll be right back. You're listening to the JT Cobble Show.
Grilling at the house, tailgating with friends, or for a weeknight dinner, your first stop should be Brooks Meat Market. The freshest beef, pork, chicken, even lamb, all cut to order. Looking for hamburger patties? Locally owned Brooks Meat Market cuts and grinds daily. Jimmy also hand makes market products like smoked sausages and seasoned sirloin jalapeno poppers. Go to Brooks Meat Market for the freshest choice for your next meal in the Elk Plaza next to Ace.
Each day, this town wakes up to new possibilities, and Sparklight high-speed internet is right there with you. Now get 100 megs for only $45 a month for 6 months. Call 855-808-2737 for fast, reliable internet. Plus, you can add unlimited data. Stream on multiple devices, all at the same time, any time of day. Cable One is now Sparklight. Call 855-808-2737 or visit sparklight.com. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. The air in your home is not as clean as you think. Indoor pollutants like pollen, mold, and pet dander can wreak havoc on your sinuses, your sleep patterns, and your overall comfort. Give D-Hart Air Conditioning a call. Talk about home comfort filtering solutions. Installed on the air handler of your home comfort system, it uses ultraviolet light to destroy unwanted particles in the air before they're recirculated in your home. Get cleaner air today. Call D-Hart Air Conditioning, 580-252-2205.
From the corner of 7th and Oak, Duncan Builders Supply grew into the largest construction supply center in the area. Slab to countertop, we do it all with the experience and knowledge that's unmatched. From estimating your project to delivery, consultation, and financing, we're there beginning to end. Name brands you trust like Benjamin Moore Paints, Larson Doors, and DeWalt Power Tools. There's no place like DBS. So see us today at Duncan Builders Supply, 116 North 7th, where service makes the difference.
Did you know that on average, one Oklahoman dies from an opioid overdose every day? And in 2017, Stevens County had the 7th highest death rate in the state from unintentional prescription opioid overdoses. During that year, enough opioids were dispensed to Stevens County residents for every adult to have the equivalent of 241 10-milligram hydrocodone tablets. Keep opioid medications locked away to prevent theft, child poisoning, and other harmful exposures. Monitor your medications for missing or outdated pills. Don't keep leftover medications. Dispose of them safely at local medication drop boxes. To find your nearest drop box location, visit the website okimready.org. This message brought to you by the Wichita Mountains Prevention Network Pathways to a Healthier You program and is funded by the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
And we're back with the JT Cobble Show. I'm Raven Cade. Me and the coach have been discussing the previous takeaways from last night's game against the PC West Patriots. And now we're going to discuss some miscues and perhaps some things that didn't go quite as right in the second half. Now, the victory was on the Duncan Demons side. They did pull off a victory 59-35. But there was some miscues and some undisciplined-like plays that took place a lot in the second half. Coach, could you expound on some of the defensive miscues and some of the penalties that cost you some critical yards?
Yeah, we had some big penalties from kids that is kind of out of character for them to do. You know, it's really hard for a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid not to get complacent when you're up 59-14. You know, a high school kid most times is going to get complacent. So, you know, but that's what I told them after the game. I said, you know, it doesn't matter if you're up 59-14 or down 9-14. I mean, if you're out here on the grass in between the white lines, you play. And you know, the championship football teams don't have different gears. And last night in the second half, we had a different gear, which was not the right gear. And I don't feel like that we played football the way that they've been coached to do, or that they showed that they can do. And obviously that showed. I mean, we showed what we can do in the first half, and they come out in the second half and make some moves like that. You know, a little bit of the credit needs to go to PC West. They have a running back that can really go. And, you know, we had a couple of turnovers. I believe they had a scoop and score for about 60 yards or so in the second half as well. So all that plays in, but at the end of the day, all in all, we have to make sure we're mentally tough enough to be able to handle a situation like that.
Interceptions are critical as well, and the penalties, like you just expounded on, you have to play on all cylinders, all four-quarter football. And that is exactly what it will take for the Duncan Demons to be successful. Yes, you can rack up, like you said, a bunch of points in the first half, but if you don't answer in that second half, then you're going to have problems. And PC West capitalized on a lot of the weaknesses in that second half. And fortunately, the defense held on for the victory to still be in the corner of your Demon team. So what keys will you work on this week as you going to Elgin for your first road game of the season?
Well, the first thing we're going to have to fix is some of our special teams. Our special teams were not good, just to be blunt about it. Our kickoff team was very, very poorly executed, and our punt team also was very poorly executed, and that's my fault. You know, I'll take the blame on that one. I probably need to make sure that we do a better job during the week of practicing those things. You know, it's really hard to simulate special teams or really anything, game speed and practice throughout the week. I mean, you just can't do it. You know, most schools don't have the numbers to put the kids on the other side of the ball to go with the speed that they need to go to see it. So, you know, that's one issue, but I probably haven't done a very good job of practicing those special teams. So that's one thing that will be fixed for next week. And then, you know, we've got to tackle better. on defense. And offensive line-wise, they had a pretty good night for the most part, but there were some mistakes as far as Jackson got hit a couple of times, and it was really simple things like tackles giving up the inside on pass protection and stuff like that. Running backs missed the hole a couple of times, so just little things that we need to make sure we brush up on and get out there in the heat and go for a while and get mentally tough enough and able to handle the hot situation, because it's going to be hot again next week.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Coach, the one thing that I was very pleased to see is that you had your kicker, number 24, Rafael Carrasco. He had the boot on that 50-yarder. It just didn't go between the uprights. It was just a bit outside. That was good to see that young man making that attempt. I mean, it was good to see him go out there and just put it on the line like that. It would have been great if he'd made the point, but it's good to see that he has the ability to make those plays. What are your thoughts on that?
He had the leg. He just didn't have the accuracy right there, and we call him the weapon. Is kind of his nickname.
The weapon. That's good.
It's really a fitting nickname. He is a weapon to have a field goal kicker that's able. I think he made one from around 30 in the first half. And the 50-yarder, like I said, he had the leg for, just didn't have the accuracy, and he also punted well. And when he does kickoffs for us, he's not completely healthy right now, but when he does kickoffs for us, he puts the ball in the end zone every time. So he is an invaluable piece and weapon to this football team, and one that we don't take lightly. And it's really nice to have somebody that offensively, that if you can just kind of cross midfield and get a few more yards, you got somebody that has the potential to make a field goal. So that's really nice to have as a coach.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for your time, and good luck to you when you go to take on those Elgin Owls on their home turf this Friday. And we'll be talking again next week.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoy it.
Well, thank you very much, Coach. This has been the JT Cobble Show, brought to you by Sparklight of Duncan, Duncan Builder Supply, Brooks Meat Market, D-Hart Air Conditioning, and Wichita Mountain Counseling. We'll be back next week for more conversations with the head football coach of the Duncan Demons, JT Cobble. You all have a great week.